Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. Raphael Varañe prepares a move to Manchester. Raphael Varañe will fly to Manchester later this week. Varañe is expected to say his goodbyes to his Real Madrid teammates. It said yesterday that Manchester United confirmed that they had reached an agreement with Real Madrid to sign Raphael Varañe. It's subject to a medical and player terms being finalised. Both clubs agreed an initial fee of 34 million. Could rise up to 42 million with add-ons. Raphael Varañe has agreed a 4-year contract with Manchester United. There's an option of a further year. Raphael Varañe will receive £250,000 a week at Manchester United. So we have doubled his wages from what he was on at Real Madrid. Raphael Varañe is expected to get the number 4 shirt. But yeah, he's our third signing of this summer transfer window. Don't forget, we went in for Varañe back in 2011 under the Sir Alex Ferguson era. We also went in for him back in 2018 because don't forget, Woodward was prepared to sanction a £100 million move. Varañe will exceed expectations in the Premier League. I'm very convinced that Manchester United will replicate what he did in his years he was with Real Madrid. And what a centre-back partnership that's going to be, Varañe and Harry Maguire, because they'll complement each other very well. Varañe is regarded as one of the best centre-halves in the world. He's highly experienced. He won a lot of trophies at Real Madrid. He won La Ligas and Champions Leagues. Don't forget, with France back in 2018, he won the World Cup and he's won 79 caps. So he has got a good pedigree as a player. Varañe was a long-serving player at Real Madrid. He endured 10 years with them. He made 360 appearances in all competitions. Varañe's current contract at Real Madrid was due to expire next year. Real Madrid got Raphael Varañe from Lens back in 2011. Varañe has come out and said that the only club he wanted to join was Manchester United. I think Man United are going to make at least one more signing. Obviously now we have to sell to fund more transfers. Now I want to give you some more news on Paul Pogba. So Paul Pogba has reportedly told his Man United teammates that he's made his decision on whether he will stay at Manchester United or sign for PSG. According to The Sun, Pogba has told the squad he wants to finalise details with Manchester United. Man United stars are working hard to persuade Paul Pogba to stay. Now, Paul Pogba rejected a new contract at Manchester United. He said last week he rejected a new £50 million contract offer at Man United. So reflecting on that, he's set to leave. Sky Sports did mention that Pogba is increasingly unlikely to sign a new Man United contract, and Solskjaer not so long ago gave us an update on Pogba's contract situation. He said that Man United still remain in talks with Pogba's representatives over a new contract. Pogba's current contract at Man United expires next year because last season we triggered that 1 year extension on his contract. But it did say a new contract for Pogba at Man United, could see him stay at the club for the rest of his career. I think there's a good chance that Pogba is going to be going to PSG. PSG are willing to pay £43 million for Pogba. An official offer from PSG to Pogba should arrive in the coming days. Not so long ago, Paul Pogba was discussing the personal terms with PSG. PSG have held talks with Pogba's agent Minio Raiola. PSG want to partner Pogba alongside Wijnaldum in their midfield. A few weeks ago, Foot Mercato said that Pogba wants to join PSG this summer. But he's had a long-running transfer saga. Pogba's also been linked to Real Madrid. He's been linked with his former club Juventus. He did enjoy 4 good years with Juventus before he rejoined Man United. Barcelona have obviously been linked with him, and Inter Milan have been in for him before. Like I said, if we are to let Pogba go, we've got to get a good, adequate replacement for him. We've identified our replacement for Pogba. That's Saul Niguez from Atletico Madrid. Man United are going to open talks with Atletico Madrid over the signing of Niguez if Paul Pogba decides to leave. We think £50 million will be enough for Saul Niguez. Sky Sports mentioned not so long ago that Man United are exploring a move for Niguez. Pogba produced his best performances for Man United in the last couple of months of last season. But at one point last season he was out with a thigh injury for a while. As it stands at the moment, Pogba's our most expensive signing because we paid £89 million for him, and Pogba's enjoyed 5 seasons at the club since he rejoined, and he's won 3 trophies at the club so far. But yeah, Man United are enjoying a very good summer transfer window, which is good. You know, I'm very delighted that Solskjaer is finally getting the backing he deserves, because he wasn't backed enough for such a long time. Solskjaer has spent over £100 million in this summer transfer window so far. Brought Tom Heaton in on a free transfer from Aston Villa. Brought Jadon Sancho in from Borussia Dortmund. We confirmed the signing of Jadon Sancho last Friday. And obviously we brought Raphael Varañe in. Solskjaer did say that he wants to make around 4 signings in this summer transfer window. We've got to now though focus on the outgoings instead of the incomings. The players that I think should leave Manchester United in this summer transfer window is De Gea, definitely. I reckon David De Gea has now had his years at the club. De Gea has been a long servant at Man United. He's endured 10 years at the club. And he's had around 8 good years out of the 10 years he's been with us, because in the last couple of years he's been a liability, reflecting on the amount of mistakes he's made. But I still think he's a very good goalkeeper. I think De Gea though is going to be staying with us for next season. Not so long ago it said that De Gea decided to cut his holiday short by 2 weeks to fight for the starting place, and De Gea said he's determined to fight for his future. A few weeks ago it said that De Gea could be loaned out for next season, to make room in the goalkeeping department. And he said De Gea was set for talks with Solskjaer over his future after the Euros. De Gea is on £375,000 a week at Man United. If we was to sell him though in this summer transfer window, I reckon we'd get from between £40 to £50 million. But De Gea has won everything domestically at the football club, and he's made over 500 appearances for us in all competitions. I think Man United need to loan Brandon Williams out to gain him more experience and to get him a lot more opportunities, because Williams is our 3rd choice left back. He seldom plays for us. Alex Telles, I think he should also go. Alex Telles has been subjected to transfer speculation recently. It says Inter Milan want him on loan. A few weeks ago, Sky in Italy said that Roma were in talks to sign Alex Telles as a replacement for the injured Leonardo Spinazzola. Telles, as you all know, is going to be missing the start of the season with an ankle injury that he picked up in training last week. So Telles is going to be missing the games against Leeds, Southampton and Wolves. Telles has only endured 1 season at Man United. He's our 2nd choice left back. When we got him last year, I expected him to be our 1st choice left back immediately, but obviously hasn't happened. He's only made 23 appearances for us. We got him for £15.4 million from Porto, and he's got a contract with Man United till 2024. Jones, we definitely need to offload him. Jones has always been inconsistent, plus he doesn't get in our 11. And he was out with injury for a while last season. Jones is the only outfield player that's still with us from the Ferguson era. He's been a long-serving player at Man United. He's endured 10 years at the club. We have agreed to let Axel Tuanzebe go, which is the right decision. I think Diego Dalot needs to leave. He was out on loan with AC Milan last season. I think Andres Pereira needs to leave. He was out on loan with Lazio last season. I think we also need to offload Nemanja Matic, but it looks like Nemanja Matic is going to be staying for next season. I've always had my strong reservations about Matic because he's always been a slow player. Plus, he he's ageing up, and analysing the vast majority of his games at Man United, he's been inconsistent, and he isn't one of our first choice midfielders, but despite that, he still seems to get his chances. Matic has been at the club over 4 years. We got him for 40 million from Chelsea back in 2017. Donny van der Beek, he's definitely another player that Manchester United should offload, but was it last week? It said Van der Beek will snub interest from France, Germany and Italy to stay at Manchester United. Van der Beek has only endured 1 season at the club. Van der Beek has played nowhere near as much as I expected. Most of Van der Beek's appearances at Man United have come from the bench. I think he only started 4 games in the league last season. Before the Euros, though, it said that Van der Beek was set for showdown talks with Ole over his future. And he did get ruled out of the Euros through injury. We got Van der Beek for 40 million from Ajax last year, and he's versatile, he can play in 3 different roles. Martial, I think we've got to offload him, but it looks like Martial is going to be staying at the football club for next season. Well, that's what reports said quite a few weeks ago. A lot of United fans want Martial to go because he's no longer good enough to represent the club. Juan Mata, I think we should offload him in this summer transfer window, but I don't think we're going to, because quite a few weeks ago Juan Mata extended his contract with Man United until June 2022. Juan Mata doesn't really get in our 11 now. The element of concern about him, he's lost that yard of pace and he is ageing up. But I think Juan Mata has had a good career at Man United. He's been at the club now over 7 years. Was it the first part of last season he rejected an 18 million a year contract offer to play in Saudi Arabia. But Man United have got a strong squad now, with Varañe and Sancho in it. It was a decent squad before though, but obviously it wasn't good enough to win the Premier League. I certainly think Man United can challenge for the title next season with obviously Varañe and Jadon Sancho in the squad. But you've got Dean Henderson, very good goalkeeper. Got put as our number 1 goalkeeper towards the end of last season. It was the right decision by the manager, because Dean Henderson did well in a lot of the games he was in goal for last season. Plus Henderson has got that experience behind him because he endured 2 successful loans with Sheffield. He's also had other loan spells before. And before the start of last season, Henderson signed a 6-year contract with the club. So reflecting on that, he committed his future to Man United. Like I said, David De Gea is still a good goalkeeper. To be honest with you, we've got too many goalkeepers now. Tom Heaton don't look a bad goalkeeper either. He did very, very well on his debut in that pre-season friendly against Derby when we won 2-1. He made like 2 or 3 excellent saves in that game. Didn't really have much to do though in the 4-2 defeat to QPR. Luke Shaw, he's a very, very good left back. He was our best player last season. In fact, he was the best left back in the Premier League last season. Shaw had a good tournament for England. Fabrizio Romano mentioned not so long ago that Man United are in the process of extending Luke Shaw's contract. Luke Shaw has just under 2 years left on his current contract. But Luke Shaw still remains our first choice left back despite the arrival of Alex Telles. And I reckon Shaw's had a good career at Man United despite his injuries. He's been with us now over 7 years. Harry Maguire, decent centre half. He's had his good games at Man United. He's also had his bad games. He did well for England during the tournament, but we certainly overpaid for him. We got him in a deal worth £80 million. So he's the most expensive centre-half in the world at the moment and the second most expensive sign at the club. I think Maguire will be better now, though, with Varane playing alongside him. Maguire was a big miss for us towards the end of last season because he had ligament damage in his ankle. Eric Bailly, he's a decent centre-half as well. But my element of concern about Eric Bailly is injury prone, so in that aspect he's a liability. Towards the end of last season, Eric Bailly signed a new contract with Man United until 2024. There's an option of a further year. Some United fans would probably say sell Bailly now because Varane's here, but no, I'd keep Eric Bailly as a backup, in case Maguire or Varane get injured. I'd sell Lindelof instead of Bailly because I think Bailly's a better centre-half than Lindelof. As you all know, I've got my strong reservations about Lindelof. But Bailly's been with us now over 5 years. We got him for £30 million from Villarreal back in 2016. I think Wan-Bissaka, he's a very, very good right back as well. He's one of the best right backs we've had since Gary Neville. Defensively, he's always been superb. Wan-Bissaka needs to show more attacking intent. We got him for £50 million from Palace back in the summer of 2019. McTominay, he's a decent player as well. McTominay certainly needs more time at the club. He's been part of the club for a long time as it stands. He's still young, he's got a lot of development in him. Just after the first lockdown last year, he signed a 5-year contract with Man United, did McTominay. I think Pogba's decent, he's really, really improved. Bruno Fernandes, obviously, he's very, very good as well. Fernandes is one of our best players, and he's one of the best signings we've made since Ferguson retired. In most of Bruno Fernandes' games at Man United, he's been very, very consistent, but there's also been quite a few games where he's looked off the pace. We have overplayed him. Fernandes has been with us now over a year and a half. Fabrizio Romano said quite a few weeks ago that Man United are looking at a new contract for Bruno Fernandes. Towards the end of last season, it says we was willing to double Bruno Fernandes' wages to £200,000 a week. Fernandes is under contract with Man United till 2025. There's an option of a further 12 months. I think Mason Greenwood, he's been an absolute revelation since he broke into our senior squad. Despite him going a long period without scoring, Greenwood made his senior debut in 2019. He's been a United player since the age of 7. Last season he signed a new 4-year contract with the club. Edison Cavani, he's made a fantastic impact since he's come in. I'm glad he's staying for next season. Romano said towards the end of last season that Cavani agreed a 1-year contract. Marcus Rashford's good when he wants to be, but there's aspects of his game that have got to improve. Because he's endured his bad periods and he has become injury prone. And that's a concern. As you all know, Marcus Rashford is out until October with that shoulder injury because Don't forget Rashford decided to undergo surgery on his shoulder. We need to keep Rashford out on that left hand side because that's where he seems to be more effective. So there you go, and as you all know, Manchester United play Brentford tonight. It's our third pre-season friendly. I'll give you a match reaction for that either tonight or tomorrow at some point. I told you I'm not bothered about pre-season. It's just to get you prepared for the new season. It's not long now till the new season starts. The new season is what matters to Manchester United, and Solskjaer is aware that next season is going to be massive for him because Solskjaer knows he's got big expectations to exceed next season. Solskjaer certainly needs to win a trophy next season. He's not yet won a trophy as Man United manager, and we haven't won a trophy since 2017, which is 4 years or so ago now, which is nowhere near good enough to our standards. And I think Solskjaer's got to improve his decision making next season, because in a lot of the games he's managed so far at Man United he's been tactically naive. But I think next season will be Solskjaer's third full season because he's endured 2 full seasons at the moment. Last weekend, Solskjaer signed a new contract at Manchester United until 2024. There's an option of a further year. So yeah, it is a 3-year contract. I think a lot of United fans were disappointed that he signed this new contract because I can assure he won't see out this new contract. I'm expecting Ollie to get sacked at some point next season, but if we do decide to eventually sack him, who's going to come in to replace him? I think we need someone in who suits the strappings of the club and someone who's got that big club arrogance. But Ollie has been in charge of Man United now for like 31 months, which is over 2 years, and I'm surprised he's still Man United manager in a way because we have endured very bad periods under him where he's been very close to getting sacked. And we lost the Europa League final to Villarreal last season, but whatever happens regarding Solskjaer, we will always adore him because at the end of the day he is a club legend. So anyway guys, that's everything to update you today. Drop your comments, likes below on the channel. If you do, consider subscribe as always, and take care. God bless. See you all again very, very soon.